Let me ask you something. What if I told you that just 1 hour a day, that's right, 60 minutes, could completely alter the direction of your life? Would you believe it? Most people wouldn't. Why? Because somewhere along the way, they bought into a false idea. The idea that transformation requires a miracle, that success demands 20-hour days, a stroke of luck, or a silver spoon in your mouth. But let me offer you something better. The truth. And the truth is, it doesn't take a miracle. It takes 1 hour. Just one. 1 hour of focus. 1 hour of discipline. 1 hour where you choose to work on you instead of watching someone else live their life. That's where it starts. You see, most people are very busy, but very few are growing. They scroll, they rush, they repeat yesterday and the day before, but they don't pause. They don't reflect. And because they don't take the time to think, they don't change. But you're still here. You're still listening. And that makes you different. You're searching. You're ready. And today, I want to talk to you about one powerful hour that has the potential to reshape your habits, your income, your relationships, and yes, even your legacy. Because success, my friend, is not an accident. It's a decision made daily. And here's the best part. You don't need a new year or someone's permission or a lucky break. All you need is 1 hour a day. So let's begin. Let's start with the first hour. Take it back. Now listen closely. How you begin your day has a remarkable influence on how you live your life. It's not just a routine, it's a ritual. That first hour, it's not just time on the clock. It's your foundation, your runway, your launching pad. But here's the sad truth. Most people give it away. They open their eyes and immediately reach for the phone. First thing, messages, news, social media, what the world's doing, what others are saying, what's trending. But you know what they forget to check? Themselves. They don't ask, what do I want from today? Who do I need to become? What am I building with this gift of 24 hours? And I'll tell you something. If you don't take control of your mind in that first hour, the world will do it for you. And believe me, the world doesn't always have your best interest in mind. It'll hand you drama, noise, distractions, and before you know it, you're reacting to life instead of designing it. So here's the challenge. Own that first hour. Before the emails, before the scrolling, before the chaos, make it yours. Wake up a little earlier, not to follow a trend, but to take command of your life. Because it's not about getting up early, it's about getting up on purpose. And then use that hour to build you. Read 10 pages of a good book. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Plan your day. Visualize your goals. Move your body, drink water, sit in silence. Do the things the old you always postponed. Because here's a truth worth writing down. If you can win the first hour, you can win the day. And if you win enough days, you win your life. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Jim, I'm not a morning person. Let me be straight with you. Success doesn't ask how you feel. Discipline doesn't check your mood. The winners of this world, they don't rise with fireworks. They rise with intent. They train. They build habits. And so can you. So, starting tomorrow, make a new contract with yourself. Before you touch the world, touch your future. Use that first hour, not to consume, but to create. Don't just wake up, rise up. Because your future, it's not waiting for you at 11 a.m., it's waiting for you at 6. And when the world starts moving, you'll already be ahead mentally, spiritually, emotionally. You won't just be prepared, you'll be powerful. And that is how real transformation begins.
Now that you've taken back that first hour, let me give you the next key. Guard it like treasure. Because here's what I've learned. People won't always try to take your time on purpose. They won't walk in with a weapon, but they'll steal your hour with a notification, a favor, a quick question, a little, "Hey, can I just—" And before you know it, it's gone. That sacred hour you carved out for your growth, your peace, your future, vanished. Traded away for someone else's urgency. You must understand this hour isn't free. It isn't leftover. It isn't casual. This hour is sacred. It's strategic. And if you don't protect it, nobody else will. Let me give you a truth that changed my life. Time is more valuable than money. You can always earn another dollar, but once an hour is gone, it's gone. So what's the solution? Put up a fence. Draw a line. Make the announcement. This hour is mine. No calls, no emails, no distractions. Not because you're rude, but because you're serious. You've got to become serious about your hour the same way a master craftsman is serious about his tools. The same way a farmer is serious about his soil. Because this hour, used wisely, will repay you 100-fold. In clarity, in skill, in confidence, in results. But only if you don't trade it for crumbs. Let me say that again. Don't trade gold for crumbs. That's what we do when we say, "Let me just check one thing," or "I'll reply real quick." And suddenly, we've spent our most valuable time reacting instead of rebuilding. So here's the habit. Every night, schedule your hour. Label it. Set it in stone. No flexibility, no negotiation. Let your friends, your family, even your own mind know. This hour is non-negotiable. This is your time to grow, to think, to build. And if others don't respect it, teach them to. Not with frustration, but with consistency. Because when you begin to value your time, others will too. So the rule is simple. If it doesn't grow you, it doesn't get your hour. Period. This isn't just about productivity. This is about priority. It's about standing tall and saying, "My future matters enough to protect it." That first hour, that's your front line. That's the gate to your mind, your mission, your momentum. Guard it like it's rare, because it is. It's the hour that separates the average from the excellent, the wanderer from the leader, the talker from the doer. And if you guard it today, you'll celebrate it tomorrow. Now listen, it's not enough to take the hour, and it's not even enough to guard it. You've got to know what to do with it. That's where most people miss it. They're busy, they're active, they're running all day long. But here's the question. Are they doing the right things? Because let me tell you, action without direction is the fastest way to frustration. It's like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, you're grinding, you're moving, but you're not going anywhere. So before you dive into your hour, before you crack open a book, before you hit play on a video or open up your to-do list, pause and ask yourself this powerful question. Where am I going? Because if you don't have direction, you won't have progress. You'll stay in motion, but never reach a destination. See, direction is the compass, action is the engine, and you need both. So here's a practical strategy. At the start of your hour, not halfway through, not later, take 3 minutes to get clear. Ask, what's my goal? What skill am I building? What do I want to improve today? And most important, why does it matter to me? Now don't just think it, write it down. Clarity on paper becomes focus in action. Like my mentor used to say, reasons come first, answers come second. And that's the secret. When you know your why, the how becomes obvious. Now here's a warning. If you skip this part, if you jump into your hour without direction, you'll waste the most valuable thing you've got, your focus. And worse, you'll start mistaking movement for meaning. You'll feel productive, but you'll stay stuck. You'll be busy, but not effective. That's why direction matters more than speed, because it doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're headed the wrong way. So take time to aim. Take time to align. Ask yourself, what actions today move me closer to the life I say I want? Because the man or woman with direction, they might walk slower, but they go further. So tomorrow morning, when that hour begins, don't just jump in. decide first. Decide who you want to become. Decide what matters most. Decide what single step will move you forward. Because when your hour has direction, it becomes a mission. And when you live with mission, you stop wandering and you start winning.
Now let me give you a cornerstone principle. Learn for an hour, grow for a lifetime. Success doesn't just come from doing, it comes from knowing what to do. And the moment you stop learning, mark my words, you stop growing. But here's the good news. Learning isn't complicated. It doesn't require a degree or a fancy title. It just takes one focused hour a day to feed your mind. That hour, that's your edge. That's your competitive advantage. Because while most people are watching junk, you're absorbing wisdom. While they drift, you develop. And let me tell you, over time, that difference becomes massive. Remember, formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So what should you learn in that hour? Books, biographies, mentors, mindset, communication, wealth, health. Learn what moves the needle in your life. Because the more you learn, the more you see. And the more you see, the better choices you make, the sharper your vision becomes. Now let me be very clear, this isn't passive. You're not scrolling quotes or watching highlight reels hoping motivation shows up. No, you're intentional. You open the book, the course, the journal, and say, this hour, this is my time to grow. And guess what? 1 hour a day adds up. That's 365 hours in a year. That's over 9 full-time work weeks invested into you. Do that for 1 year, and you won't even recognize yourself. Your vocabulary improves, your confidence rises, your thinking sharpens. You solve problems that used to stop you cold. Why? Because you've been stacking wisdom. Bit by bit, page by page, lesson by lesson. And here's the beauty. No one can take that from you. Skills can be learned, confidence can be built, knowledge multiplies. And it all begins with that 1 quiet hour. So here's what I want you to do. Before your hour starts, choose your material. Don't leave it to chance. Stack those 3 books on your desk. Line up that podcast. Open the course you've been putting off. And when the hour comes, go deep, go deliberate. Because every time you open your mind, you expand your future. And let me say this clearly. The man or woman who learns daily, they earn continually. So don't skip this. Don't rush this. Make learning a habit, and you'll make success your lifestyle. Let's clear something up right now. Learning is powerful, yes, but learning without doing, that's just entertainment. You can read every book on the shelf, watch every motivational video, listen to every world-class podcast, but if you never apply it, you're not growing, you're just collecting. You see, success doesn't come from what you know, it comes from what you practice. Let me repeat that. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Why? Because it's in the doing, not the knowing, where skill is born. You don't become a speaker by reading about speaking. You don't get strong by studying workout routines. You don't master anything by sitting on the sidelines. You've got to step into the arena. Now here's the mistake most people make. They wait. They wait until they feel confident. They wait until everything is perfect. They wait for permission. But let me give you the truth. Confidence doesn't come before action. Confidence comes from action. Every time you practice, you get sharper. Every time you try, you get better. Every time you show up, you grow up. So what does this mean for your 1 hour? It means part of that hour should be hands-on. If you're learning to write, write. If you're studying public speaking, speak out loud. If you're learning business, pitch the idea, make the call, build the plan.
If you're learning design, don't just watch tutorials. Open the software, create. No more waiting, no more prepping, just doing. Because repetition, not perfection, is the mother of skill. You don't have to get it right the first time. You just have to get it going. Then you refine, you improve, you polish. That's how professionals are built. That's how confidence is earned. And here's something else. When you practice daily, your progress becomes visible. You can feel it. You can measure it. You begin to trust yourself. And that trust, that's the real reward. Because a person who trusts in their own effort becomes unstoppable. So here's the challenge. Take what you learned yesterday and apply it today. Even if it's messy, even if it's awkward, even if it's small, just start. Because doing turns knowledge into power. And one bold, focused, imperfect hour of action will do more for your life than a lifetime of thinking about it.
Now, here's something most people overlook. Reflection. Life doesn't improve just because you keep going. No. Life improves when you pause, take a look back, and learn. Not just from experience, but from evaluated experience. Too many people go from one day to the next, one task to the next, one goal to the next, without ever asking the most important question. How did I do today? That's where the growth is. Not just in doing, but in reviewing. I used to say a life worth living is a life worth recording. But let me add something else to it. A life worth recording is a life that keeps improving. So here's what I want you to do. At the end of your hour, not later, not tomorrow, take just 5 minutes to reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What did I accomplish? What did I struggle with? What will I do better tomorrow? It's not complicated, it's just honest. And I'll tell you why most people skip this step. It forces them to face themselves. It reveals patterns, it reveals progress or the lack of it. But that's the very thing that unlocks the next level. Because reflection creates clarity. Clarity creates improvement. Improvement creates results. But don't stop there. After you reflect, it's time to refine. What can be tightened? What can be removed? What can be improved, upgraded, or simplified? You don't have to overhaul your life every week. You just need to adjust the process a little at a time. Remember this, airplanes are off course 90% of the time, but they keep making small corrections, and guess what? They still land right where they're supposed to. Why? Because they reflect, refine, and repeat. And that's your formula too. Every hour you invest in yourself, reflect on it, refine it, then do it again tomorrow just a little better. Do that for a week, you'll feel the shift. Do it for a month, others will notice. Do it for a year, your life will never be the same. You see, people who only live experience grow slow. But people who learn from experience, they grow fast, they grow strong, they grow wise. So don't just live your life. Examine it, shape it, elevate it, reflect, refine, repeat. That's how you go from ordinary to exceptional. Let me share something most folks forget. Your body is not just along for the ride. It's not just a vehicle. It's the engine of your life. And let me tell you, if that engine breaks down, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are. It doesn't matter how sharp your mind is or how full your bank account looks. Because when your health fails, everything slows down. You see, the body and the mind are connected. You can't think straight when you're always tired. You can't lead when you're physically weak. You can't build anything meaningful when you're constantly burnt out. So what do? Simple. We invest 1 hour a day into the most important machine we'll ever own, our body. Now listen, I'm not asking you to become a bodybuilder or run marathons, but I am saying you need to move. You need to breathe. You need to stretch. You need to sweat.
Because when you honor your health, you elevate your energy. And when your energy goes up, so do your results. Let me say that again. Energy is the fuel for achievement. You want more focus? Move your body. You want more drive? Work up a sweat. You want more peace? Breathe deep. And here's the beauty. It doesn't take all day. Just one focused hour. That's it. Go for a walk in the morning. Do some yoga. Stretch those muscles. Lift something heavy. Or simply step outside. Get the sunlight on your face and fresh air in your lungs. And remember what I always say. Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live. Now let me offer a warning. Neglect is sneaky. It starts quiet. A few missed workouts, too many processed meals, too much time in the chair. And before you know it, your body starts to break down. Not all at once, but little by little until one day the bill shows up. In the doctor's office, in the lack of energy, in the opportunity you weren't strong enough to grab. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. So I'm asking you, take the hour, protect the hour, use it to build your strength, not just your skills. Because you can't give your best if you're running on empty. You can't lift others if you can't lift yourself. You can't fulfill your purpose if you're constantly managing pain. So starting today, treat your health like your future depends on it, because it does. 1 hour a day to walk, to stretch, to fuel, to rest, to keep the doctor away and success close by.
Now let's talk about building a fortune, but not with long hours or complicated plans. It starts with one quiet hour. Profits are better than wages. Wages get you by. Profits build wealth. And to build profits, you don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need a big team. You don't even need permission. You need 1 hour, a quiet hour. Most people get home and shut down. They say, "I've done enough." So they sit, scroll, watch, and wonder why nothing changes. But that quiet hour, right before bed, right after dinner, that's your golden opportunity. That hour is your chance to build something that's yours, not for your boss, not for your paycheck, but for your future. In that hour, you can start a side business. You can learn a new skill. You can write. You can plan. You can sell. You can build. You don't need a fancy office or perfect setup. You just need a little hunger and 1 hour you don't give away to the world. Now, be honest. Results won't come overnight. That's not the point. The goal is momentum. 1 hour a day, 5 hours a week, 260 hours a year. That's not small. That's massive. That's a product launched, a brand started, a future created. But only if you treat that hour like treasure, not time to waste, but time to build. You don't build wealth on wishes. You build it with work, quiet, focused work when no one's watching. And here's the best part. If you do this long enough, one day you'll look up and realize something. That little hour built your confidence. That little hour built your income. That little hour built your independence. And it all started when you made one simple decision: to stop wasting the quiet hour and start using it to build your fortune. Now let's talk about relationships, something most success books overlook. Because what good is a fortune? What good is a strong body, a sharp mind, or a big bank account if you don't have people to share it with? Success without connection is empty. You don't build a good life just by building businesses or habits. You build a good life by building people. And that takes time. That takes care. That takes presence. But here's the good news. Just like you grow wealth with one quiet hour, you grow relationships the same way, 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of real conversation. 1 hour of listening, not just hearing. 1 hour of putting the phone down and looking someone in the eyes.
You see, people don't remember what you said. They remember how you made them feel. And they feel it when you give them your time. Now, I'm not asking you to become a therapist or spend 10 hours a week. All I'm saying is, give someone in your life your full attention for just 1 hour. Your spouse, your child, your parent, your mentor, your friend. And don't just sit in the same room. Be there. Ask questions. Share stories. Laugh a little. Or just sit together and be quiet. Because presence is powerful. Let me tell you what happens when you do this. Trust begins to grow. Walls start to fall. Love multiplies. Connection deepens. It doesn't take a fancy dinner or a big trip. It takes 1 hour of your heart with no distractions. And I'll tell you this, the people who know how to build great relationships always win in the long run. Because when the storms of life come, and they will, money won't hold your hand. Success won't hug you, but relationships will. So schedule that hour. Make it intentional. Because if you don't invest in people, one day you'll wake up surrounded by things, but feeling completely alone. And here's the truth. A rich life is measured in memories, not just milestones. And memories are made in moments. Moments like this. Moments that begin with just 1 hour.
Stack your hours, stack your future. You've heard it before. Success is built one step at a time. But I'll say it a little differently. Success is built 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of discipline. 1 hour of learning. 1 hour of building. 1 hour investing in your mind, your body, your future. Now here's the problem most people face. They underestimate what just 1 hour a day can do. They say, it's just an hour. What difference can it make? Well, let me show you the math. 1 hour a day is 7 hours a week. Over 300 hours a year. That's more than 7 full-time work weeks devoted to growth. Ask yourself this. What could you accomplish with 7 full-time weeks focused purely on growth? You could write a book, learn a high-value skill, build a business, transform your health, master your mindset, or even rebuild your life. But you don't do this in a rush. You do it by stacking those hours, one on top of the other, brick by brick, quiet, steady, strong. That's how a future is built, not in a burst of energy, but in consistent effort. Here's the secret. Small disciplines don't stay small. They expand, they multiply, they shape who you become. Every time you show up for that hour, you're casting a vote for your future. You're saying, I'm not wasting my life. I'm not waiting on luck. I'm building something that matters. And that decision, made daily, creates momentum. It builds confidence. It creates results. Because when you add up the hours, you add up the progress. And when you add up the progress, you start changing your identity. You go from someone who waits to someone who builds. Now listen, there will be days you miss that hour. That's okay. You're human. But don't let a missed hour turn into a missed week or a missed year. Always come back. Get back to stacking because time is passing either way. One day the question won't be, did you dream big? It will be, did you use your hours wisely? So stack them, protect them, and one day you'll look up and realize you didn't just change your habits, you changed your life. When 1 hour turns into a new you, you started with just 1 hour. 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of building, 1 hour of reflecting, 1 hour for your health, 1 hour for your future. At first, it might have felt small, almost invisible, like nothing was happening. But day by day, hour by hour, something was happening. You were becoming someone new. Not overnight, not by accident, but by decision. Because here's a truth you can count on. You don't change your life in one leap.
You change your life one consistent hour at a time. The hour you showed up when it wasn't easy, the hour you chose growth over comfort, the hour you practiced instead of postponed, the hour you listened, loved, focused, created. And those hours, they rewired your mind. They reshaped your habits. They rebuilt your confidence 1 hour at a time. You started to believe in yourself again. You began to trust your word. You proved to yourself discipline isn't just a word, it's a lifestyle. And the best part? You didn't need to change everything. You just needed to change one thing: how you use your time. That was the turning point. Because if you can control 1 hour, you can eventually control your day. And if you can control your day, you can shape your future. So here's what I want you to remember. Success is not luck. It's not mystery. It's not magic. It's discipline applied daily. And that discipline doesn't take everything you've got. It just takes 1 hour a day. No excuses, no feelings needed. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and realize you didn't just change your schedule. You changed your identity. You became the kind of person who shows up, who follows through, who lives intentionally, who walks in purpose, who builds with wisdom. And that, my friend, is the new you. All from 1 hour. So keep it up. Stay consistent. Protect the hour. Respect the process. Because it's not just how you spend your time, it's how you shape your life. Start today, not tomorrow. Now, you've heard it all. The habits, the hour, the truth. So what's next? I'll tell you. Start today, not tomorrow. Because tomorrow is a promise. Today is a decision. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for the right mood. Don't wait for a new year or Monday or some perfect moment that never shows up. Just start. Pick 1 hour, claim it, schedule it, protect it, like your future depends on it, because it does. You don't have to be great. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to show up. Remember this, change doesn't happen when you know what to do. Change happens when you do what you know. You've got the map now. You've got the steps. You've got the power. So don't walk away from this video just feeling inspired. Walk away activated. Decide right now, today, what hour will you take back? What will you build? Who will you become? Because if you give 1 hour a day to growth, to purpose, to vision, to health, to people, to your future, 1 year from now, you'll be living a life you once only imagined. So start today, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. 1 hour, one decision, one new you. Let that be your story.